My name is Ben Azoulay, known as King Azoulay.
No, I'm drifting, catch you slipping, won't be back again.
We know what we want in life, we go out there and we get it.
Roll the riches, lot of fishes, so we throwing nets. Hiking, shipping, magic, and yeah, we back again.
I mean, that's gonna cause a very, very traumatizing situation on the heart. It's not able to pump blood.
So when you take all this, your heart becomes enlarged, right?
No.
No.
No, it does not. Your heart doesn't enlarge unless you take a lot of growth hormones.
So what if you take growth hormone with the rest of this? Because now your heart's pumping out a bunch of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if you take growth hormone, now you have a bigger heart. Does that make it more sustainable? Like your heart could sustain to pump out more blood because it's bigger?
So no. So let me explain to you. If you take 2 IUs or 4 IUs a day, you're okay. It's actually healthy. Have been a lot of researchers that it's healthy. That's why if you want to buy it from a doctor, it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like the healthiest thing on the market.
Okay.
It reverses aging. It thickens up your bones. It builds you more muscle tissue. It's like better for your mental health. It keeps the fat, like it keeps you with less fat on your body. It allows you to get more leaner and eat whatever you want. Things like that.
Well, you probably preserve your childlike characteristics, right? Because
Correct.
when you're a child, you make growth hormone.
Right.
And then at 18, you stop.
We release growth hormone when we're in stage 4 sleep.
Okay.
So when you're in deep sleep, which is stage 4 REM, you produce growth hormones. The first time when you're sleeping, let's say somebody that sleeps for 8 hours, it takes about an hour and a half to get into REM, and now you're in deep sleep. Once you're in deep sleep, you'll stay there at first about 5 to 15 minutes at most. You're producing growth hormone. Every time you're training legs, you're releasing growth hormones into the body as well.
Why is that?
Because
It increases your test too, right?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Also sprints. Because the legs, first of all, if you put them together, are like the most muscles in your body.
So because
You
it's
know?
physically demanding.
Yeah.
So your body's like, fuck, we need more test.
Right.
And growth hormone.
You pretty much, so if you do a lot of legs, it creates a lot of pressure on your body.
Mm.
I mean, who likes to do legs? Almost nobody, because if you really hit legs hard, like Dorian Yates, you're dead after 40 minutes. You can't walk. Or like, what was his name? Tom Plants. The guy squatted only once a month. He said, once I was done squatting, my brain was fried. I couldn't function. So it takes a lot out of your body. So now doing squats, doing sprints, sitting in ice bath, laying out in the sun, the UV from the sun and the vitamin D will increase your testosterone level by up to 150% if you lay naked in the sun and you get direct sunlight on your testicles. So truly, if somebody is young and they're working out, they're not going to the gym to talk. It's not a social gym. You put your headphones on and you get to fucking work. You go 60 seconds between each set, get out of there within an hour, and then you go eat within 15 minutes. That's your timing. Within 15 minutes, your body and your muscles will absorb everything that you're eating.
What is that period called right after? The anabolic window?
Yeah.
So that's real?
Yeah.
Because you just trained those muscles. So now whatever
So
nutrients...
if you don't eat right after your workout, you're going to catabolic state. Cannibalism. Your body starts to eat itself. It needs to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have fat in your body, because it's a reserve. We have unlimited amount of fat cells as well, but we only have limited amount of muscle cells. Now people think, well, if I eat a bunch of food at the same time or a bunch of calories, as we know, Phil, that's going to be able to be absorbed into the body. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do it in smaller portions in each sitting. Now, within time, the more you eat, if you eat every 2 to 3 hours, and you eat the right amount of food, you will be hungry within 3 hours. And when your body is used to it and you're eating, it's going to ask for more and more fuel as you train harder and harder. If you want to be able to consume more food, do cardio first thing in the morning. That opens up your appetite. Then you eat. Then you go train. Then you eat. The most important meals of the day, and that need to be high calorie dense meals with high carbs as well. Breakfast, pre-workout, post-workout. You get those right, these are the most important meals of the day.
So, okay, say I'm trying to get my workout in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hitting legs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to eat and then wait a long enough period for my body to digest so that way it could use the energy that I just consumed, right?
Correct.
Okay, so how long would I need? Like an hour?
Hour to an hour and a half.
Okay, with a good amount of carbs?
That's the ideal time.
Yeah.
Good amount of carbs, yes. And again, good amount of carbs, that depends on your weight, right? If you're someone who weighs 150 pounds, you don't need the same amount of carbs as somebody who weighs 250 pounds.
Yeah.
It's different. You guys could look that up.
So you eat chocolate during your workout?
Yes, right after my workout.
Right after or during?
Right as I'm finishing my workout, I'll have chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is because you need fast sugars, fast acting sugars like chocolate, candy, things of that nature, to spike up your insulin levels. So it's like taking insulin. When you spike up your insulin, and then you have a protein shake, which is, let's say, whey isolate, right? It doesn't have any carbs and it doesn't have any fats, it's just protein. People think if I drink that, that will go to my muscle. Your muscle cannot hold on to protein without fats or carbs. So the fast acting sugars will then spike up your insulin, and when you drink the protein shake, it will attach to your muscles. That's why I eat candy right as I'm finishing my workout.
Mm. That makes sense.
That's for that. Now, food, let me explain to you really quick how the body works. That I think is a very interesting analogy that I came up with, and I think people really need to understand. So people go, well, if I eat less, I will lose weight. Or if I drink less water, I will lose water from my body. Many years ago, before the time of Ralph's, Gelson's, Albertsons, there was no supermarkets. We need to go hunt. We didn't know when our next meal is coming. Also, for a long time, we didn't know how to preserve our food. Within time, even without fridge, we understood that if we use salt and if we use seasoning, we could preserve the food. So we made a hole in the ground, dug a hole in the ground, put in a layer of salt, put in the meat and another layer of salt on top. That was how we preserved the food, so it could last for a few days. Exactly the same way as if you put it nowadays into the fridge.
Because if you put it with salt, it takes the moisture out, right?
It also keeps the bugs away. It takes the moisture out. It sanitizes it. It has multiple reasons of why you use salt. Now, people back then didn't know when their next meal is coming. So the way God created us is have unlimited amount of fat cells, but only limited amount of muscle cells. Why? So you could store fat in your body. So you could go up to 30 days without food. You could only go about a week without water. Now, the more water you're drinking, the more you're going to lose water, because the body goes, oh, I'm getting water all the time. That process takes the body to understand about 3 to 4 weeks. But the more water you're taking in, the more water you're letting out, and you get more shredded. Because a lot of your body weight is water. 75% of our body is made out of water. So when you're drinking a lot of water, you're going to lose water. Drinking 1.5 gallons of water a day, you'll be pissing every 10 minutes. That's what bodybuilders do to lose water weight. To stay shredded, you eat more food. Consistency of food, the body doesn't need to store any food in the fat cells. It starts releasing fat. Doesn't need anything for reserve because you're feeding it. Takes it about 30 days to understand that, to start applying that. Now, that's with food and water. Something that people don't know, the more protein you eat, the more weight you're going to lose.